I'm quoting you all the time to my students. I'm teaching in my Wealth Academy, my crypto courses, and my investment club. I think I probably quote you every single session I go in because your stuff, it rings true, maybe even more so now than when you wrote that book 27, 28 years ago. So look, I appreciate it. I can never have you on enough times. I always get excited, and all the London Reelers, they love you. So appreciate you being here, and thanks for coming on really on short notice. I mean, you've been in high demand lately. I've seen you on Fox. I've seen you on the major financial programs because, everyone's looking to you to try to explain this because you've been calling this for 5, 10, 15 years. I just want to call out a couple things that have just shocked me, Robert. As you know, I worked in the highest levels of international finance for 15 years. I worked on Wall Street, I worked in Chicago, and I worked here in London for 10 years in the credit markets and interest rate markets. Robert, two of my top clients when I worked here in the city of London, that's what they call Wall Street here, were the massive global banks. Two of my top derivative clients were Credit Suisse and Deutsche Bank, right? These were guys that paid me millions and millions of dollars in fees over the years. Guys became good friends of mine, and it's really hard to watch a bank like Credit Suisse, its equity value go to zero. Good friends of mine, my former clients, they were paid in equity, and I'm really, I don't want to text them because, I don't want them to come back and say, Brian, I've also lost all of my life savings. And now to hear Deutsche Bank, Deutsche Bank is considered the creme de la creme of European banks. When I was in the city, it was probably the top European bank when it came to derivatives, to new issuance, to everything. And to think that potentially that equity is going to zero, it's mind-boggling, And so I want to get your thoughts on all of this, including what you've seen stateside with Silicon Valley Bank. Man, 2 weeks ago, that was high drama, and Signature Bank and the rest. Robert, what's your take on this latest development of the crisis you've been calling for at least a decade?
Well, I'm going to promote myself here. This is Rich Dad's Prophecy. Came out in 2013. And I said, why the biggest stock market crash in history is still coming and how you can prepare and profit from it. So this was 2013, but I just watched what happened after 2008. And, there was a repo market crash. All these crashes were happening, but the average person without financial education, unlike you and myself, has no idea what's going on. And going a long way back in 1965, I read this book here called The Communist Manifesto. It's only like 50 pages, but it's one of the most influential books in history. I hope someday I can write a book as powerful as this one. But the Communist Manifesto is the manifesto of academics. And I hate to say that because that's the story of Rich Dad, Poor Dad. So I went to military school in New York, and my economics teacher had me read this book here. And I go, why are we studying him when we study Keynes or, Malthus or those guys or Ricardo? He says, because this guy here, Marx and Engels, they're the most powerful economists in the world. So in 1965, I was 18 years old in New York City. I came from Hawaii all the way to New York to read this book here. And I go, holy Jesus. My family are communists. Now, it doesn't mean they're bad people, Brian. This is where I get my ass in trouble. You call somebody a communist, and I'm a Marine too. Marines, you don't take the word communist lightly because you shoot them. So I spent two tours in Vietnam as a Marine pilot. And so when I read this book here, I went, oh my God, communism is like Christianity or Buddhism or Mormonism, whatever you want to call it. It's communism or economics is an economic religion. If you can understand that. So when I read this book here, it's only like 50 pages. I'm like, oh my God, my family communists. That's like saying, oh my God, I just found out my family are Mormons. Do you know what I mean? And you know how goofy it is here in America is my friends are Mormons, but they're treated like they're communists. So that's human nature is what I'm getting at, Brian. You know what I mean? If somebody is unlike you, we tend to want to kill them. So I read this book here and I went, oh my God, what's happening? We're teaching communism to our kids. So let me just read one, what Marx says. The abolition, the number one aim of communism is the abolition of private property. Okay, that's number one. Number two was taxation. A heavy or progressive income tax is necessary for the spread of communism. So I watch what person does, not what they say. So this guy, Joe Biden, right now, he just hired 87,000 new IRS Internal Revenues agents. That man, by his actions, maybe not in his, I don't think he's got a mind left anyway, but anyway, he and I are the same age. And I act like him sometimes. But anyway, he hired 87,000 new IRS Internal Revenue agents. They're going after our money via communism. But the average American doesn't know that because they think, oh, I must pay my taxes. But if you look at history, and you and I are both Americans, America was founded as a tax-free nation.
Yeah.
It was called the Boston Tea Party, was that 1773? That was the foundation of America. And then these Nazis, communists, fascists get in there and they start teaching, oh, you should pay your taxes. I'm going, that's not what the Constitution says. Do you know what I mean? And so our problem, Brian, is in education. So that's why I wrote Rich Dad, Poor Dad. I don't hate my family. I respect them. Like my sister is a Buddhist nun. She could try to convert me to Buddhism, but as I'm a Marine, we kill Buddhists, unfortunately. But, we all come from different philosophies. And I think the word that's missing today is respect for other people's philosophies, but also as a respect for our education. What are our schools teaching kids today?
Yeah. Well,
Wokeism, gender identity is us, but no, what the heck are we teaching?
Yeah.
Black Lives Matter? Well, what about all lives matter? Why don't we teach them that?
So Jim Rickards has just recorded a video that's not available to anyone in the public, and he's going to be talking about how this upcoming recession is going to be fast, it's going to be bloody, it's going to be nasty. But at the same time, he's going to show you how you can position yourself to profit from all of this chaos. Now, we've made this video only available to our viewers. Go to londonreal.tv/Jim. Watch that immediately. I can't say enough good things about Jim Rickards. He understands the global economic system better than any guest I've ever had on London Real. His predictions are almost uncannily true, and you can learn how to profit from his vision, from his expertise, and his understanding of economics. So go to londonreal.tv/Jim or click the link below. It's an excellent, excellent look on what's going to happen in the future and how you can position yourself to profit from that. Jim is one of the best in the business, one of my favorite guests on London Real, and he's very, very good at predicting the future and showing us all to profit from it. So click the link, and I hope you enjoy. Hey, do you want to profit from crypto? Then join my DeFi Academy. The Crypto DeFi Academy will help you create generational wealth. But don't take my word for it. Listen to my students.
When I first got into crypto, I remember thinking to myself, I need to learn more. Brian Rose, learning crypto, learning DeFi, gotta do it.
I am so grateful that I jumped in and did this. I had to break through some limiting beliefs that I can do this, that I can afford this, that I can be in this.
It challenges the things that are deeply rooted within us.
Joining DeFi Academy has been one of the best decisions I have made on my blockchain journey.
This course was a life changer, a game changer, a huge eye-opener, coming from knowing practically nothing at the speed of the learning over 4 weeks was just fantastic.
The information you provided in this class was invaluable.
I feel far more confident in my next steps.
You took complex concepts and made them easier to understand.
What's different than so many other ones is it just doesn't tell you what to do. It actually makes you do it.
This is for people who are serious about becoming traders. This is the way it should be done.
I realized from this learning experience again that it is not about what you learn, but about who you learn it from.
The energy was insane. I've never experienced such incredible energy on a live call. Brian Rose, you are a legend, my friend.
It's the only thing in the market where you can get all information and learn everything what you need to know.
Everything is so clear and so well done, and I'm just forever grateful for this program.
It made me feel so much more confident about crypto than I did before.
I did not anticipate how passionate I was going to become about it.
It's of course been like a big learning experience for me, not just in the crypto space, but just in overall balance of life.
What I've learned is, how to take ownership, of my life in a way that I really hadn't before.
Yeah, you can't put a price on that, really.
I would recommend it to anybody, top notch.
Excellence does not come cheap. So if you want excellence, you gotta pay for it, but it's so worth it.
Pull the trigger. That's what this course is about.
You're not going to regret it, really. It's amazing.
Thank you, Brian and team.
So what are you waiting for? Crypto is happening now. Click the link below, submit your application, and let me mentor you on how to create generational wealth and build the decentralized financial infrastructure of the future.